are tired. That's because this poor elk has been carrying around this rubber tube since April. And NYC was next. The Boston Marathon bombers had a second target on their list, the Big Apple. And 2 threats in 2 days. The high school is evacuated again after another bomb threat. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. I'm Niki Weirich. Yesterday, shortly before school let out, District 49 received a call saying there was a bomb near Vista Ridge High School. Students were evacuated, but nothing was found. Today, it happened all over again. Fox 21's Abby Burke joins us live in the studio now with more on tonight's top story. Abby?
Niki, District 49 says both calls came in through the Safe to Tell reporting system, which is anonymous. Police say they are working to try to find out who made the calls that both turned out to be false reports. Students returned to school at Vista Ridge High School today, but their time in the classroom didn't last long. Late this morning, District 49 received another bomb threat.
They were specific to a bomb being somewhere in relation to Vista Ridge High School.
Once again, police were called in, and once again, students had to be evacuated.
We're not going to take any chances, and we're not going to risk anybody's life just thinking this is the second or this is the third call.
It's definitely frightening. I've never experienced that before with a bomb threat in schooling. So, when an announcement comes on and you can tell that the lady was panicked and they're kind of just telling you to get out as soon as possible. And it's a little scary.
Both police and district officials say the prank calls are frustrating and disruptive.
Students had to be pulled out of their classes, evacuated from the building, and now they're actually going home, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's unfortunate that this has to impact their time in the classroom.
Police say if they find the person responsible, they will press charges and make sure they know this is no laughing matter.
We've got to make sure other students don't follow and that this hoax doesn't become something funny to students, because it is very serious.
No, I don't think it's funny at all. I think if it's a joke, whoever's doing it, I don't understand why. I don't think it's right, and not at all.
Police cleared the scene today and nothing suspicious was found. Tomorrow is scheduled as a personal development day at Vista Ridge, so students do not have class. Police say if students hear anyone claiming responsibility for the bomb threats, they should let someone know right away. Niki, back to you downtown.
All right, Abby, thanks so much for that report tonight. New developments in the investigation into the Boston Marathon bombings. The 2 suspects had another target in store. Fox's Rick Leventhal has the details.
The FBI says New York City was the next possible target of the 2 suspects accused of setting off dual bombs at the Boston Marathon. New York's mayor and police commissioner say investigators informed them of the discovery made during an interview of the surviving suspect, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev.
He told the FBI apparently that he and his brother had intended to drive to New York and designate additional explosives in Times Square.
Officials say Tsarnaev claims the decision was made spontaneously while on the run, but was foiled when their carjack victim escaped at a gas station, leading to a shootout with police.
But till that point, the 2 brothers had at their disposal 6 improvised explosive devices. One was a pressure cooker bomb, similar to the 2 that had exploded at the marathon. The other 5 were pipe bombs.
Mayor Bloomberg says if the brothers had made it to Times Square, their deadly mission would have been a challenge. Officials bulked up police presence in the area immediately following the Boston attacks and have high-tech surveillance equipment constantly monitoring the streets.
The investments that we've made in counterterrorism operations, technology, and intelligence help reduce the possibility of a successful terrorist strike, but they certainly do not eliminate it. Nothing can do that. We don't know if we would have been able to stop the terrorists had they arrived here from Boston. We're just thankful that we didn't have to find out that answer.
The police commissioner says the NYPD is investigating trips the surviving suspect made to New York City last year and who he might have met with while he was here. In New York, Rick Leventhal, Fox News.
The town of West honoring the 14 people who died in a fertilizer plant explosion. American flags waving in the air as friends, family, and residents stand watching a procession of fire trucks and police cars. President Obama wanted the speakers at a memorial at Baylor University in Waco. He ordered all federal buildings and military facilities in Texas to fly their flags at half-staff for the day. Traffic was backed up tonight near Platt and Shelton. This after a pretty bad accident. Take a look at this. It happened just west of Academy. Try to avoid that area if possible. Multiple vehicles were involved. involved. The roof of one car had to be cut off in order to get the victims out. We're told at least 2 people are in critical condition tonight. That investigation is still ongoing. We'll have more tonight at 9. A sergeant with the Colorado Springs Police Department is arrested. 53-year-old Sergeant James Boudier is taken into custody and charged with felony theft and forgery. He was responsible for overseeing the motor vehicle theft unit and grant funds. He's been placed on administrative leave with pay. The case will be given to the DA's office for formal charges. If felony charges are filed, he'll be on leave without pay. Tara Rawlings sentenced this afternoon to 10 years to life probation and 90 days in jail. Rawlings, a former teacher at Hilltop Baptist School. She was accused of having sex with a 15-year-old boy during the 2007-2008 school year. She was charged with 4 counts of sexual assault on a child by one in a position of trust, among other charges. 50-year-old Michael Bass arrested after allegedly robbing a Colorado Springs business. Police were called to East Platte near Circle for an armed robbery Wednesday. Bass entering the business demanding money. He took off, but a man from a nearby business was able to catch up with him and hold him at gunpoint until police arrived. Police were forced to use a stun gun on Bass. He's facing aggravated robbery charges. Colorado Springs police need your help finding Amber Schmidt. She's wanted on theft charges back in March when officers were executing a search at Just Computers on Platte Avenue. Schmidt arrived wanting to sell gift cards. Those gift cards were from stolen merchandise returned at a JCPenney's. Further investigation also revealed she stole $400 in fraudulent cards to a quadriplegic. Anyone with information is asked to call police at 444-7000. Patrols being increased in Canyon City after a possible attempted abduction. The alleged incident happened near Harrison Middle School. Police say 2 children were possibly being enticed to get into a car by an unknown person. Unfortunately, the description of that vehicle is vague. It's a small, light-colored, compact vehicle. Police say this incident may be related to a similar incident that happened last week in Florence. If you have any information, call 276-5600. Well, it's not easy losing a child, especially 5 days after giving birth. But a family makes a life-saving decision to help 2 other children live. Fox 21's Kristen Leon has the story.
I showed no signs. My body showed no signs, so I was pretty shocked and denial.
An exciting time as a mother quickly turned into an emotional roller coaster for Jennifer Sheriff when the doctors first told her they needed to run tests on her newborn baby Alexa.
She was born with everything functioning, beautiful, full-term baby girl. Everything was working, but her brain.
Alexa was born on May 15, 2012, without any brain activity, and the doctor said she wasn't going to make it. About 24 hours later, Jennifer's doctor came in to deliver the terrible news, something no parent is ever prepared for. And at that point, the doctor presented Jennifer with a life-saving decision to donate Alexa's organs to Donor Alliance.
We work with the hospitals and the hospital staff for the donation and the recovery of potential organs for organ donors.
When we did speak to one of the nurses, Bernie, she actually had mentioned that she could contact the Donor Alliance if I would be interested in donating any organs.
Alexa passed away on May 19, 2012. She was only 5 days old. And because of Jennifer's decision to donate Alexa's organs, their family helped save the lives of 2 other children.
2 other children were able to receive these gifts and live because of Alexa.
That was Fox 21's Kristen Leon. Some rain showers moving into southern Colorado. Terry has more now in the Fox Fastcast. Terry?
Yeah, Nikki, let's take a look outside. And we've had a few sprinkles off and on. Nothing going on right now. We're seeing mostly cloudy skies over the city of Colorado Springs. And yes, we could see some light showers in through the evening hours. Let's take a look at our TrueView Doppler, and you see what's going on right there. A lot of that is just not making it to the ground, but those areas of darker green, maybe some light showers. Let's go a little closer in on El Paso County. We did have one little shower, a little heavier right there, and maybe even some thunder with that. It's strengthening as it moves into Lincoln County. Some showers, both rain and snow off to the west of Colorado Springs, trying to work their way over the Springs. We could see a little light rain in through the evening hours. More rain off to the south of us right there, and as this whole system slides to the east, this is going to spin up some showers into the far southeast part of the state. So if you're down in places like Springfield, down toward Campo, the eastern portions of Los Animas County, you have some rain coming your direction. What about Colorado Springs and Pueblo? Could see a few isolated showers through the evening hours. Things should die down overnight around 7 o'clock, 56 in the Springs, 62 in Pueblo, 49 and 57 at 9, and 40s and 50s at 11 o'clock tonight. So hey, you can probably go out without the umbrella, but hey, if you want to be safe, throw it in the back of the car. Hey, we'll talk more about the weather coming up in just about 4 minutes. Right now, back downtown. Nikki.
Sounds good. Thanks, Terry. A sinkhole the size of a car opens up in the middle of the road in Boulder. The sinkhole is directly in the middle of two lanes near the University of Colorado's Boulder campus. The sinkhole near Folsom Field on Stadium Drive was caused by a water main break under the road. It took crews several hours to repair the break and fix the road. Well, check out this poor elk running around Morrison, Colorado. It managed to get a large tire stuck around its neck. She was first spotted yesterday, but listen to this. Wildlife officials have known about the elk since April 8th. They say they don't want to attempt to remove the tire just yet because she may be pregnant.
I just thought it was very funny to see this elk with a tire around its neck, a little bit of bling.
Wildlife officials say the elk is not hindered by the tire, so there's no immediate concern. Can't be comfy though, right? Marijuana patients and advocates upset over an amendment to a bill imposing regulations for legal use of the drug. More on that debate later in the show. And we've seen our fair share of windy weather here in Colorado, but this scene is on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
Strong winds in Pennsylvania blowing metal boats and trash cans down the street. Check out this video. At first you see the wind here blowing the garbage can along the pavement. Then a boat comes flying through the air toward a vehicle just seconds later. It was part of a system that moved through the mid-Atlantic region. Kind of looks like some of the wind we've seen here, right, Terry?
Looks like Mother Nature was a little bit ticked off. Although if you watch that garbage can, that's what my garbage can looked like on Monday with those strong winds. It started rolling down the street. I have to go chase it. And as a matter of fact, the top was about 5 houses down, stuck in the bushes. Let's take a look at our current temperatures. Winds aren't a problem out there tonight. A few showers maybe. 55 right now around the Air Force Academy. Low 60s still in Colorado Springs. Mid 60s there around the Fort Carson area. 72 in Pueblo. Also 70s as we head out to the lower Arkansas Valley. 69 Springfield. 63 Trinidad. Low 50s if you're in Alamosa. We'll take a look at that cloud cover, and we had that weather system we talked about move through from the southwest. You can see the clouds associated, some light showers out there. That moves through. There is one behind it. So far no clouds, so you can't really see it, but it's going to swing through tomorrow and bring us a slight chance of some showers late tomorrow again. Doesn't look like a big deal, kind of like the one that moved through today. We'll take a look at future view, and here's the way it shapes up. Overnight, we could see a few isolated showers out in the eastern part of the state as you get up tomorrow around 7 o'clock. Most of the state will see some sunshine. Could be a few lingering clouds and maybe even a shower in the southeast part of the the state as the day goes on. That clears out. Here comes that second weather system, and we see a little bit of rain and snow shower activity, mostly over the mountains. I suppose one or two could roll out over the I-25 corridor, but the further east you go, the drier you're going to be. And overnight tomorrow night, we will see that stuff disappear, and as we start Saturday, we will see plenty of sunshine. Look what happens on Saturday. Mostly sunny skies. If we're going to see some showers on Saturday, probably right down along the southern border area, and even that's a long shot, and we'll see some nice warm temperatures even late in the day. Temperatures will be in the 60s and 70s. Some nice weather coming up Saturday. Could be even warmer Sunday. We'll talk about that later. All right, now let's talk about what we're expecting for tonight. Some isolated showers out there, possibly a little thunder at times to go with it, but for the most part, just the showers. 40 your low in Lamar, 39 in Trinidad, 39 Canyon City, 30 in Salida, right around 28 for the low in Alamosa. Then for tomorrow, mostly sunny to partly cloudy, and again, a few isolated showers. You saw where they'll be mostly over the mountains, possibly along the I-25 corridor. A little breezy. There, the high temperatures looks like it'll be about the same as today. 66 in Canyon City, 63 in Walsenburg, 69 your high in La Junta, right around 71 in Lamar, 68 around the Kit Carson area. In Fountain, we'll look for a high temperature of 64 and upper 50s, both Monument and Black Forest. What happens in Colorado Springs and Pueblo? We're going to check that right now. For Colorado Springs tonight, mostly cloudy. We're going to leave that chance of an evening shower in the forecast. Look for a low temperature of 37. Basically, the same forecast for you folks in Pueblo with a low temperature of 37. Then coming up for tomorrow, mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Slight chance of a late day shower. High temperature right around 62 in Colorado Springs. And in Pueblo, we'll call it mostly sunny. A little breezy, high temperature close to 70, but I'm calling it 69. And hey, remember, you can always get your forecast on our Fox 21 mobile app, powered by Fox 21 News and brought to you by Pueblo Toyota. So not a bad day coming up for tomorrow. The weekend, we've been talking about this all week, looks spectacular, and we'll talk about that later on in the show. Right now, we're going to toss it to a break, and Niki's back after that.
In tonight's Modern Medicine, lawmakers in Colorado trying to come to a consensus about a bill that determines how stoned someone may be while driving. Fox's Eli Stokols has that story.
Medical marijuana patients and pot advocates caught off guard.
I am incredibly upset and offended by the addition of the DUID amendment.
Upset about an amendment to a bill imposing regulations for legal marijuana that sets a 5 nanogram blood level limit for driving under the influence of drugs.
Patients like me, we will continuously maintain a blood level far above 5 nanograms and without any impairment.
On the flip side, the Attorney General's office says it won't support the marijuana bill without the DUID amendment, which the Senate killed on Monday.
People need to be cautious and careful about how much drug they take into their body before they operate a motor vehicle and put at risk other people.
Police chiefs and sheriffs say 5 nanograms is too lenient.
We have a lot of cops who say that 2 nanos should be the standard.
The bill's sponsor, Dan Pabon, who's been working on this for months, knows he won't please everyone, but says regulations for legal marijuana have to pass and that public safety is paramount.
And the most important thing that we have here is a seed-to-sale tracking mechanism. So as long as we know where the product starts on day 1 and when it's sold on the final day, then we can make sure that this doesn't go into the black market, that doesn't create a criminal element to this enterprise, and that's the most important thing.
That was Eli Stokeholz. A British government report warns cosmetic surgery treatments are dangerously unregulated. The report says the industry is a crisis waiting to happen. One woman reported suffering a variety of illnesses after a filler entered her bloodstream. The Department of Health will announce what action it will take later this summer. It's a hero's welcome for a Marine. His body has been through a lot, but his heart is still strong. And mortgage rates are down and home sales are up. We have more on the numbers next in tonight's Business News. Making business news tonight, some mortgage rates have hit a record low. Economists say 15-year fixed-rate loans fell to 2.61% this week. That's down a fraction from last week. The most popular mortgage, the 30-year fixed rate, is sitting just above its record low. They also say the low rates are boosting the housing market. A Marine who lost both his legs in Afghanistan returns home where he was honored by his high school. Fox's Rob Roth has that story.
Marine Staff Sergeant Jason Ross returned to his alma mater, Granada High School, this afternoon to a hero's homecoming. It's been a long road since he left, a road that cost him much of his body, but not his heart.
Honored, really. You know, it's like, hey, you know, why'd you pick me? I mean, it's like there's lots of other guys out there.
Here's why. While on patrol in Afghanistan 2 years ago, Ross's unit was crossing a field when he stepped on an IED.
And I remember hearing this loud whoomp, and everything went black.
The blast severed both his legs below his pelvis. He remembers waking up in a hospital bed and taking inventory of his body.
And at that point I realized, okay, both my legs are gone. Still have both my hands and all my fingers. I sat there for a second and I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm here. I'm good.
His father quit his job and helps take care of him.
I still get emotionally drained at thinking about what's happened. and that I'll sit down and even have a good cry.
This afternoon, Jason helped dedicate a new flagpole honoring all of Livermore's veterans, and he was asked to throw out the first pitch before the game between Granada and Livermore High Schools.
I got a lot going for me. I got a lot ahead of me.
Staff Sergeant Jason Ross says he'd like to re-enlist with the Marines, perhaps as a teacher.
That was Rob Roth reporting. Stick with us, Terry. We'll have a week's worth of weather coming up next.
Let's take a look at a week's worth coming up tomorrow. High temperature of 62, slight chance of a late day shower. Saturday and Sunday looking gorgeous. Temperatures in the 70s by Sunday. We stay there till Tuesday. There's your next weather system. We cool off for Wednesday, a chance of showers. And in Pueblo, looking at 69 tomorrow, 75 on Saturday. Then we're into the 80s on Sunday and Monday. You gotta love that. Cooler temperatures, a chance of some rain coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. That puts a wrap on the 6:30 show. We're coming back at 9. We'll talk with you then.
That's not what I said.